Hello, guys, and welcome back to the Totally Random Talk Show. Today, we got a special guest with you guys. Just kidding, he's not a special guest. He is our co-host, Max.
Hello there. What are these accents?
I don't know.
Well, sorry, we've been a little busy lately, so it's been just around a week. That's not too long. So we're back again with another episode. Yeah, let's hop right in.
Well, first, I think we should tell the audience that we have a brand new segment for you guys. We also brought back some of the old ones that were quite popular. So the new segment we changed up our original random topics segment. We're still gonna have it, of course. We just changed it though, so we're gonna have kind of a theme. So all of our topics will be based off of letters. So our topics today are all like the letter A. They start with the letter A, you know. So.
And then later, we could also do like random topics that all relate to a certain thing, you know, like circles, or because it could still be random. There's lots of different things that relate to circles. Why don't you get started? I will be right back. I just have to grab something.
Alright. Okay, so our first topic today is on apples. Now, apples, they're very red. Well, actually, no, not all of them are red. Some are green. Some are also orange. Like, not thick orange like an orange is orange, but like an actual, like, kind of green orange sort of thing.
Yeah.
But, I'd also like to add that there's a lot of different things you can do with apples. One, you can just eat it plain. You can also cut it up. You can mash it up. You can make it a cobbler. You can make applesauce with it. By the way, homemade applesauce is way good. Like, super good. You should make it.
Anything homemade is always delicious, you know?
Yeah. Like, it also has like the apple skins in it, which like most people take out, but I think that kind of makes it better, to be honest. I don't know why. It just tastes so good.
Yeah. There's some like fruits and vegetables that the skin tastes really weird on. I think with apples, it makes it better because, I don't know.
And then also, a lot of people like dark red apples. I'm actually not too big of a fan. My favorite kind of apples are the green apples, you know, because they're kind of sour rather than sweet. They're really good. I like
little
those.
Tart too, you know?
Yeah. And a lot of people also make pies with apples. That's another thing.
Yes.
So good. My mouth is watering.
Pie in general is always good, and I feel like fruit is always really good. But with anything, you have to eat in moderation, you know. So, like with fruit, you don't want to have like 17 apples or like 17 pounds of strawberries in a day. You want to like, you know, have a little bit, which is good, but not have too much.
Yeah. So our next topic today is on aardvarks. Now, I've already told Max I don't know how to start the conversation on this one because I literally barely even know what an aardvark is. So I know it's a weird little animal with like a giant tongue. It's like and stuff, but that's all I know.
Those were great sound effects too.
Oh, thank you. That's just based off of like that's literally all I know. That's it. I don't know anything else.
Well, aardvarks, to describe them, I'd have to say they are a mix between like a rodent and an opossum, or an armadillo, not an opossum. Very different things. They're kind of like an armadillo's cousin, I feel like, because their faces look similar, which sounds weird, but it really does. And usually with their super long tongues, they like eat tons of ants and stuff. There's not much to say about them.
So they're basically just an ant eater?
Yeah.
but
And
with like
here,
a
how would I? Let's go to like National Geographic or something like that. Typey aardvark with the double A at the start too.
Mhm. To be honest, wait, I do know one more thing about aardvarks. They
Mhm.
look really weird.
Yeah, they look kind of like a rat pig, and
That's
also
a
an
good
armadillo.
description.
Yep. They're native to Africa, apparently. I'm reading off Wikipedia. um, they burrow and they're nocturnal, which is interesting because most animals in Africa, I think, aren't too nocturnal. I mean, some animals hunt at night, but the fact that aardvarks are nocturnal is pretty interesting because Africa does have lots of animals that aren't, you know.
Yeah.
So it's probably an advantage doing that because they can get food easier, not having to deal with other animals as much.
Mhm.
And yeah, so they have like a long face, kind of also looks like a kangaroo a little bit. Like I don't know. They're just a mix of like random animals together, and they're so weird.
Just makes like some weird super beast.
Yeah. They also have claws to dig with, so they're pretty dangerous actually. You could get clawed by them. You probably wouldn't find one just right by your house because they live in Africa. And there's some places where in Africa they could be, living next to cities, but usually I feel like animals don't live near cities, so it'd be more,
Yeah.
grasslands Africa, which is just wild.
So our next topic today is on agriculture. Now, I can actually talk about this one, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like the other one. But agriculture, if you guys don't know, is pretty much just farming and things like that. And I don't farm. I'll tell you that I'm terrible at growing anything.
Same.
Like we had a jalapeno plant, and it died really fast too.
We had a whole garden, and it got overtaken by earwigs. So yeah.
For some reason, all of our plants are doing terrible except for our blackberry bush and our pumpkin plant. Our pumpkin plant is like 5 pumpkins already. They're really big. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But anyways, agriculture is more of like large scale farming though, not just gardening. But like I'm talking, sow your fields and cultivate your crops and get the harvester and sell wheat and stuff. Now I've played my fair share of Farming Simulator. It sounds dumb. It sounds terrible, but it's actually really fun. Okay?
Yeah. I feel like farming games are usually pretty fun, like Stardew Valley, and
Yeah.
I'd consider Animal Crossing the farming game, kind of. It's a little different.
Mostly just like a large scale farming tycoon type thing,
Yeah.
because you farm your crops and then you go sell it.
Yeah, and also agriculture includes livestock. So lots of the food that we get either from plants or from animals is all from agriculture.
Yeah.
So that's basically everything that we eat, except for some stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
Very few things. And also, what's interesting is that in the U.S. we have 2 different government organizations for food. There's the USDA, which is just for like meats and eggs, and then there's also I think is it the FDA? I can't remember.
I think so.
Yeah, and they're for everything else, like any of the crops that you eat and stuff like that. So it's interesting that there are 2 different organizations because they work together a little bit, but not the most, just because of what they are supposed to do.
Yeah. But it's very interesting.
And also, what's interesting too is agriculture was a huge step in the rise of humans, right? So, like, before we figured out how to plant crops and have animals for food, humans traveled all over the place and they would just kill anything that they found for food. And so we relied more on hunting and gathering than we did on agriculture before we discovered how to do that. And agriculture allowed humans to, kind of evolve and come to what we have today. Or else we'd probably still be living off the land, like in caves. So yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Our next topic for you guys today is on accordions.
Oh, I love accordions. They are interesting, to say the least.
Very. I don't quite know how the accordion works. All I know is it has a little tiny piano on the side, and then you like push it in and out, and it makes noise. That's how it works in my head.
There's some I've seen that have like knobs on the side.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
They're very cool, and the sound they make is phenomenal. It's incredible, actually. Like what it makes, It's very cool.
What's interesting is, like, they sound a lot like harmonicas, right? But they're not very similar to harmonicas.
Yeah.
It's like interesting. Like, they have similar sounds, but they're way different. So yeah, I don't know. It's hard to talk about something you don't know much about.
Yeah.
But also, they're pretty cool.
Like aardvarks.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about those, but I do know my fair share, like, facts and stuff about accordions. So, like, I can tell you that they're awesome, and that I don't know how people play music on them, but however they do that, that's awesome.
There's also, like, different accordion kind of types. There's like the concertina or whatever too.
Oh yeah.
Which is a little bit different. I think that one just has little, it just has little like buttons kind of. And so then you kind of, it's similar to an accordion. And
I think it doesn't have the little piano is what.
Yeah, that's the only difference. But also looking at pictures of them, I think like they use wind, right, or like air that pumps through the thing to play music, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's also keyboards that are like you blow into them and then it can help you play, which is weird. Like yeah.
Yeah. Very cool though. Very interesting instruments.
Yeah. So our next topic, I'm pretty excited about this one, is the Avengers, as in like Marvel's Avengers.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't seen those movies, go watch all of them because they're all amazing.
Yeah. And I mean, you don't have to like superhero movies, but at least you could appreciate that the movies are pretty huge, like it's crazy.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: what would you consider to be your favorite Marvel movie?
I would say Captain America: Civil War, because I think all of the others kind of had a similar feel to each other, like even though they were very different movies, but I feel like Civil War took a different take on everything, and it was like they were fighting against each other versus fighting with each other, and so it was an interesting concept to take to a movie, especially because they did it so well.
Yeah.
How about yours?
Ooh, I gotta say, my favorite movie by far is probably Captain America: The First Avenger. Just
yeah.
because, like, I don't know, it just, it's got that awesome feeling to it that I like, and I'm also very fascinated with, like, World War II and stuff. I'm a very big World War II buff, but, it's very fascinating to me and stuff.
Yeah, and also just the themes of the movie really were good. It's like showing you don't have to be big and great, but you can, like, even if you are, you can still be kind.
Yeah.
And like it showed, because Captain America at first was this tiny guy, but he still stood up for what he thought was right, and he still wanted to help other people. And so that whole movie, I feel like, I mean, all of the Captain America movies by far are the best. It's weird because there's multiple of them, and they're all like really good. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just Captain America, like Chris Evans, but yeah,
just a good actor.
Yeah, and what's cool too is all of these actors and stuff. They earned money from acting before doing the Marvel movies and stuff, but then I feel like once they were part of Marvel, it kind of boosted their careers, and now they're like some of the most well-known actors and actresses, and it's pretty crazy because Samuel L. Jackson was pretty well-known before, but hey, now he is Nick Fury, so
So now my question for you is, who is your favorite Avenger?
Ooh. This is tough because there's a lot of them, actually.
The Marvel universe is so big.
And they're adding even more, like the more series they add and everything, it adds just more superheroes. But I would have to say, I think Winter Soldier or Bucky, because I think, first of all, he was really loyal to Captain America. They were good friends, and he really helped him out. I feel like part of who Captain America was mostly because of Bucky, and that's probably like the whole reason that Captain America stayed and fought in the war and like kept him going, kind of.
Yeah.
And so then when Bucky, like, found out, I'm assuming people have watched Captain America, here's a big spoiler, Bucky dies. It's pretty sad, but then you find out he's not dead, and so I feel like for Captain America too, that was a big moment for him, because he realized he could have his friend back, and so he was fighting for that, and that led up to lots of other movies. But yeah, I feel like Bucky's the best, because he's cool too.
Yeah. Now, I gotta say, my favorite Avenger, even though my favorite movie is Captain America, it's not Captain America. It used to be. But just because of what happened in Endgame, I'd probably say that Iron Man is my favorite. Just because even though he was, like, not too much of, like, a superhero, he was just kind of laid back all the time and stuff, he was still, like, probably one of the best,
Yeah, and he also, you could see his character changed a lot through the movies. At the start, he was a jerk and everything, and even in the first movie, he changed.
Yeah.
But then, like, the more you go through them, he developed more as a person and a character, to the point where his decisions changed a lot. Like, his whole lifestyle had changed.
Yeah. So there is a lot that we could say about the Avengers, but let's go ahead and move on to our next topic.
The Amazon Echo, because if I said the A word, I guess, Alexa, it'll probably set some people's things off. I don't know if they're sitting at home. That'd be kind of funny though.
Hey Alexa. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. What can I help you with? No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. one thing
Yeah.
that I can already tell you guys about Alexa, or Echo, whatever you call it, it's really annoying. I mean, it's helpful. Don't get me wrong. It's
Mhm.
really helpful. But when you're like talking about anything really, it kind of just picks it up by random. Like,
Yeah.
even if you say a word that doesn't even like sound like Alexa at all, it'll sometimes pick it up. And then it'll be like, finding
Yeah.
you Chinese restaurants near you. And you're like, no!
Yeah. But what's interesting is that we were able to create something like that is able to understand what you say and answer questions.
Yeah.
And it is useful, you can like set timers and take notes from it, or reminders. And you can announce to your whole house, if you have multiple of them, you can announce to your whole house like dinner time, or like, oh, we're going on a trip in our favorite rocket ship. No, just kidding.
Through the skies, little Einsteins.
That went from me talking about Alexa to Little Einsteins for a minute. But yeah, it's useful for everyday things, which you can do in other ways, but it's nice to just, sometimes talk. You're like, hey Alexa, what are you doing?
Yeah, and sometimes a lot of people just like talk to Alexa. I know that like might seem a bit weird, but it's actually like kind of fun because most of the time she doesn't really understand. Like, she can answer questions, yeah, but if you try to have a conversation with Alexa, it doesn't really work out.
Yeah, but what's funny is you can actually make her say things you want to. So like if you said Simon Says, and then you say what you want her to say, she'd repeat it. So if you're like, Simon says, this guy is so awesome, then she'd repeat it,
Yeah,
It's crazy, actually.
it's very cool.
It's pretty funny.
Sometimes
to
they
mess
have
around
like
with.
hidden things in it too, so like I know
Yeah.
like Siri's not Alexa, granted, but like everyone puts like
Kind
hidden
of idea.
things in their idea of their AI. Sorry, I can't talk today. But anyways, like Siri, after the Lego Batman movie came out, like if you said something that along the lines of like what happened in that movie, she'd respond to something from that movie. It was actually really cool. And like there's
Yeah.
always hidden things like that,
Yeah, like what's 0 divided by 0?
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
That was
Stuff
hilarious.
like that. Yeah, except for with Alexa, sadly, it just says, I don't know that.
Yeah,
or it's
but
also like,
Alexa does have songs. Like
yeah, that's good, too.
Siri doesn't really sing, she raps, which is kind of scary.
She's like, I'm the baddest AI. And it's like, what? You okay? Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah. But
Uh,
I don't know. All AIs are just like really interesting, and I gotta say, like Siri, Amazon Alexa,
Just don't let them take over the world.
yeah, there you go. All right, so our next topic for you guys today, we're bringing it back, the quick minute segment, and our quick minute topic today is going to be on fortune cookies.
Fortune cookies. Yes. And I was trying to say it at the same time. I don't know if that works, but yeah.
Really?
Okay, when should we start? Should we start right now?
Let's start right now.
Okay, fortune cookies are really good.
They're
Lots of
yummy.
people don't like the taste of them, but they're actually pretty good. And half the time the fortunes are like, your dad is funny, which is probably true, but that's not a fortune.
Yeah, I feel like most of them are just like really predictable, like something along the lines of, I don't know. We have a minute, so I can't really think of anything right now, but like most of them are just really predictable, They're just
Yeah,
really
like-
simple and
You're going to die one day. Like, that's gonna happen. Yeah. Or, yeah, I don't know.
it's like you will be greeted with a friendly smile. It's like, come on, I'm always greeted with friendly smiles. It always happens.
Somebody's like, hey, how are you doing?
You're like, it happened. And you start freaking out. It's like, my horoscope came true. Or something like that.
Or, yeah, whatever, I don't know, whatever
Fortune
people say
cookies and stuff.
for that.
They're
What do you
just
got me?
really fun, to be honest. Like, they may not always be true, but it's just fun to read them because, it could happen.
Yeah.
And just like the 8 ball,
Time's up.
it can predict things.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
Yeah, quick minute. Woohoo.
There you go.
It's hard to think about what to say when it's a minute.
Yeah.
Before we just, like with Avengers, you could seriously have a whole episode on just the Avengers because you could completely talk about that. We went more for Marvel though for that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah.
So our
let's
last
hop into the
segment for
next
you
one.
guys is another classic, the Random Facts segment. Now, you guys know how it works. We each have a weird but true book. If you guys don't know what those are, they're made by National Geographic kids. Not all of them, like these facts, might be 100% true, but I do know that they are very fascinating and cool. So,
Yeah. Okay. I guess I'll start. First fact I have is it would take 225 million years to walk a light year. That's imagine running a marathon for a light year.
oh my
Never ending.
gosh.
That'd be that would be
sounds
the worst.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. If humans could live that long,
Then
running
we
a
could do
marathon like that would be torture though. Because that's forever, that's a long time.
Here's another.
Like even oh wait.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, even like 10,000 years is like a long time,
Yeah. It's insane. So, the oldest known pine tree is more than 4,700 years old.
Wow, that is insane. Seriously. Like, I don't even know. It's crazy how a tree could survive that long. Because there's a lot that could happen in 4,000 years. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just insane. Like, honestly, how could they last that long without, like, rotting away or, termites eating it?
Yeah. I don't know. It seems weird to think about time that long because life is short, and so thinking about a time as long as even just 1,000 years is crazy long. Because 1,000 years ago was like what, Mesopotamian area or era, like the year 1020. That would be really strange. Like there was nothing that we have today.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's even crazier to just think about it.
Yeah. So,
But yeah.
let's see. Next.
Alright, real quick. Let's see what time.
Find a good one.
Oh yeah, there's a machine that turns sweat into drinking water. And on the International Space Station, they actually do this with all fluids. So after the exercise, all of the sweat gets turned into water, all of their urine gets turned into water, everything. It's pretty crazy.
Wow. That's insane.
Or actually, I'm not exactly sure about urine. I know about sweat.
Yeah. Wow. It's just incredible, though, that people can actually do that today, Like, they have the technology to do that. It's also kind of nasty, to be honest, but, like, still, if it works.
If you think about it, it's nasty. But I'm sure if they're up there in space, they're pretty glad to have water.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's weird. It actually does turn pee into water. That is really weird. Yeah, it's strange because you wouldn't think about that too often.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's another interesting fact. you can buy an inflatable TV screen. I don't know how that works, but that's incredible.
Wow. That would be really weird.
Is it weird that I want that though? Like seriously.
Yeah. Imagine like popping your TV. That'd be insane.
Gosh.
I'm just trying to look for another one. Woohoo! Already done that one. Okay, you ready for this?
Yeah.
A 10-year-old kid is made up about 3 2 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 atoms. How many is that? Just give me 1 minute. It's hard to comprehend.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Let's see. That's 3.2 octillion atoms.
Oh my gosh.
That's insane. That is a ton. Just imagine how many the Earth is made out of, because there's 7 billion of us on this Earth, right? And each 10-year-old kid is made up of about that amount. So what if you add everybody and their ages with their atoms and everything? With the whole Earth, it'd be a crazy amount, you know, a number we can't even understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Now here is a very awesome fact. The world's largest swimming pool in Chile stretches for half a mile. And I want to go to it.
Imagine, well, you could swim a whole mile just swimming from one side to the other. That would be nice. But at the same time, that's just insane.
It's huge. Like, that is insane.
How would you get enough water? Like, how many gallons would that be?
A lot. And especially, like, how much chlorine is in it?
To
Because it's a
clean
swimming
it.
pool.
Yeah, to clean it. I mean, it could be fresh water, too.
It
Or
could
salt
be.
water. But even just being able to keep it maintained and cleaned would be horrible. No, I feel bad for whoever has to take care of that.
It's very cool, though. Like, honestly, I want to go to
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Just,
that'd be
like,
very
swim
interesting
across
thing to
it.
see. Yeah, I mean, the ocean is big, but just because it's a swimming pool makes it more impressive. Because
Yeah.
they have to build the swimming pool, you know? Versus the ocean, you can just walk outside
Go
and,
swim.
I guess, drive or fly if you're not close to the ocean. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's all of the facts for you guys.
Yeah.
But as always, stay random and
Yep.
stay tuned for more episodes on the way.
Yep, we'll have more episodes here soon. We'll be right back into the action, you know. And if you want to, you can go to our website. We'll leave a link. And you can comment for anything you want us to add or change, anything like that. And we'll look at the comments, you know, see what we can do. And yeah, we hope you enjoyed this episode. So yeah, see you next
Stay
time.
random,
Stay
guys.
random.